Hi folks, today's instalment is making ice cream. So what do we need for making ice cream? Well, we need some milk to start with. So I've got some milk there. We need some sugar, and we need some salt, and we need some ice. We also need a little bit of vanilla essence. Now I'm not going to use the sugar and vanilla essence because I've already made up a load of vanilla sugar here for when I go into my workshops. So I'm going to be using that instead. Okay, so what do we do? Let me grab the bags from over here. We also need 3 bags. A small bag, a medium bag, and a large bag. Okay, now the small and medium bag need to have some sort of seal across the top because you need to seal the ice cream mixture in here, and then you need to seal that bag inside here, because we're going to add salt and ice in here, and you don't want the salt going into your ice cream because then you won't be able to eat it. Okay, so let me show you what to do. First of all, you want about a cup of cold milk, okay? And you need to put this into the small bag, just like that, okay? What you then need is a tablespoon of sugar. So in my instance, it's going to be vanilla sugar. Let me just, there we go, so that smells beautiful, that does. You can buy vanilla sugar on its own, but you can make your own, it's not a problem. So a tablespoon of that into there, and now you seal it. And this is the really important part. You need to make sure that there's no air in there whatsoever, and this is quite tricky. So you need to push it, and then when you're virtually, the milk that's virtually come out, you then seal it like that. So it ends up like that. That's how you want it. Now that one goes into the middle bag, just like that. And you need to do exactly the same for the ice, for this bag as well, getting as much air out as possible, because the more air you get out, the quicker your milk and flavouring will turn into ice cream. So that's that one done. And then I put it into the big bag in turn. Now this one you need to remain open like that. Now in here you need some ice. So you need sort of 2 or 3 or 4 handfuls of ice. Oh, perhaps 4 in this case. Something like that. Remember to put the ice back in the freezer once you've done. So that's done. So you've got the mixture in there. Now what you need to add is some salt. And what happens is, just like that, add a couple of tablespoons of salt in there. Now what happens is, the salt will melt the ice and it takes it down to -10. Okay, so in there right now, that salt and ice is transforming into iced water, which is really important. Now what you then need, because this will get really, really cold, as you move it around and work on it, it'll get incredibly cold. Okay, so what you need to do, take a tea towel, put it in the middle, bring the corners up, and then it looks like you've got some rabbit ears hanging out the top, as if you're holding the rabbit by its neck, okay? Now what you then need to do, get as much air out as possible, and then you need to massage it. Now the outside of that bag is going to get very, very cold, -10, okay? So what I normally do, I use a washing up bowl in my workshops, and what happens is the kids then move it around inside there. Sometimes this outer bag breaks because the ice has got sharp points on it and bursts through the outer bag, and it bursts through, and you'll suddenly get an ice cold puddle of water. Now you don't want to be doing it here in your lap, because you'll have a puddle of ice cold water in your lap. Much better to do it in a washing up bowl and just move it around and do it over the washing up bowl, just like that. Now if you keep doing that for about 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how good you are and how quick the ice is to melt, you'll start making ice cream. Okay, now I'm a bit like Blue Peter today. I've already made one earlier, so I'm going to move that one over there and bring this one over here, because I know this one is okay. Now we've been going 5 or 10 minutes with this one. Now rather than using vanilla and sugar on this one, I used a Mint Aero. Okay, now eventually what will happen is it'll start to solidify in there, just like this, and you can see it solidifying in there right now. Now that's pretty much done. You can leave it for another 5 minutes if you want, but you don't need to. Now, to take it out, make sure none of that salt water gets in. So what you've got there is mint chocolate chip ice cream, okay? And the most important thing about mint chocolate chip ice cream is, or any ice cream, is that you try it, okay? And there's my ice cream. Oh, a little bit of chocolate there. There's my ice cream. Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. So why don't you go make some ice cream, folks? Okay? See you soon. Take care.